Hi everyone. So you all have gotten a handout, and as you see at the top, there's Butter from the story we've all been reading, The War That Saved My Life. So what I want you to have out is this worksheet, the book, and a pencil to write with. So we're going to be answering some questions that I have listed on the handout. And what we're going to be doing is looking through the text, so looking through the chapters in the book and finding text to answer the questions in the story. So what we have here, if we can all look at number 1. There we go. And thank you for being patient with this because I've never used this format before. Flipping back and forth anyways. So we're going to look at number 1, and who is Butter? The CH9, we're going to look at chapter 9. And in chapter 9, we're going to read through and see what text we can find to support what chapter, what page, and what text we can figure out who Butter is. So let's take a second to look through chapter 9. We see some text in there, and we're answering who is Butter. Says Jamie and Ava were talking to Mrs. Smith, and they asked who Becky was. And she said, no, she was my friend, my best friend. We went to university together. This was her house. She left it to me. And Butter, I said, remembering. She gave me Butter long before she died. She wanted me to like horses the way she did. I didn't take. So what we can write in there, we don't have to write that whole text, but we can write Becky gave me Butter long before she died. We know that's the text, so we're going to put it in parentheses. And we can write our reasoning there that Becky, it is Mrs. Smith's horse that Becky gave as a gift. So let's go down to number 2. Let's all work on that as a class. So if we can just take a second and read the question. So where were horses first introduced in the story? So it gives us a clue to look in chapter 4. So let's go down to chapter 4. Is everyone on chapter 4? Okay. So can anyone look through and raise your hand if you find what text has some answers in there regarding question 2? So, yep, right at the top it says, a girl on a pony was racing the train. So that is exact text for what we can put on chapter 2. That was the first time that we had heard about horses, right, in the story? All right. So now everyone is going to go off in your assigned teams and work together to answer the rest of these questions. I'm going to be walking around and going through working with each of you individually as groups to see if I can help you answer some of these questions. Don't forget your clues at the top. So the chapter number is right there, so that gives you a big clue as to where to look. If you have any help, need any help, I will be around. I'll obviously everyone to go after their groups. Obviously, I would be walking around pretty regularly, making sure that they're all on the right, pages, ideas, listening for different things. I have pretty much set on my I cut out the text for all of the answers for all the questions, and then obviously the last one really is, you know, kind of what do you think Butter's part of the story is going to be throughout the rest. So we'll see. So, you know, once everyone would be done, I obviously get them back together in their seats, and I would just have them go through in their groups, answering those questions. So one by one, we'd go through and just figure out what text was for the question, and kind of what it means. There are a couple why questions in here. I tried to really vary it based on the text that I was working on. So that is what I have for my lesson plan, and thank you very much.